Not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, C. Wall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's C-Wall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. See all that we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your Washington Commanders update. And I am your host, C-Wall. I am back. As everyone knows, I had to take some time off. Appreciate everyone who was still checking in and waiting to see all things happening Washington Commanders. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for your well wishes and prayers as the C-Wall family has mourned the loss of our good friend, sister, and teammate Rhonda Washington last Thursday. In lieu of a show, I did post something to her, so I hope you all had an opportunity to read that. We are going to definitely keep this thing going for certain. And thank you all for your patience as we deal through that grief period and continue to deal with it. But we got to keep going. We got to keep moving. And we got some football to talk about, you all. So I see everyone is checking in. Bring that energy. Bring all of that good vibes, because we should have it right now, right? So I see folks are already checking in. I see the First String Podcast is checked in. I see Joe Harris. I see John Adams. Of course, Joy from the C-Wall team is on, and she's getting you all engaged. And I already see the hellos to the queen herself, Mama Waller. So I thank you all for shouting her out. Before we get into it, I have to remind you all, this is a live Bowie television recording. You all know the drill. Whatever you all say, any questions you ask, anything of the sort, hey, listen, there just might be a chance comments and questions to land on the Tizoob every day. If you have Comcast Xfinity, that's channel 77, and for Verizon Fios subscribers, it is channel 11. So you all, I got one question. Are you ready? Are we ready to go? Is everybody good? All set. Make sure you are sharing this show with your Commanders loving family and friends. As you all are checking in, make sure you are hitting that love button so that I know you all are in the building. Okay, you all. So since the last time we chatted, I think the Commanders were coming off a Thursday night football win in Chicago. And since then, there has been not one, but two Commanders victories. Check that out. Okay. So listen, we got to go with one of our favorites. This is when it gets good. What is your one word to describe how you are feeling with three straight Commanders victories? I see the First String Podcast is all buckled in and ready to go. Your one word to describe how you're feeling. Now, listen, in this episode, we're going to talk about some of the favorites, and we're going to talk about some of the areas of improvement, right? but definitely want to know your one word to describe how you're feeling. What's when a huge takeaway while you all are commenting? Your one word. Seeing some coming in. And make sure you all are sharing this show with your Commanders loving family and friends. And make sure you all are tagging them in the conversation so that they can discuss these things live. So listen, I have a one word, and I think my one word is actually wow. Like, a lot of emotions watching these games. And hey, listen, you never know, but it's like we know that the Chicago game was an ugly win. We had an opportunity to discuss that on the show. Then against the Green Bay Packers at home during Commanders Alumni Weekend, they were able to pull off the victory. And then we also at the last second, in the last moments of the game yesterday in Indianapolis, this team was able to pull it off. I see some more coming in. Hyped. I see Durbin says decisions. Joy came back in and said heavy. We're going to definitely try to get to this point that Joe Harris has made in terms of play calling, because I got a little bit of to talk about all of it, right? We want to get into the positive things first, right? While you all are still checking in and definitely still tagging folks in so we can get this lively conversation going. We are going to show some videos, some commentary. But before we get into that, we're going to get some fan engagement going. I want to see you all's comments. I want to see your energy, because we're going to go through your favorites first. Okay, so from Green Bay in the Indianapolis wins, I want to know your favorite player on offense or favorite players on offense. Then, of course, we're going to go to the defense, and then we're going to go into special teams. In the last 2 weeks, and as you all are checking in for certain, your favorite players, we're going to start with the positive stuff first. Favorite players on offense, favorite players on defense, and your special teams players. And now, of course, I got to wait to tell mine. So, hold on. Russ has number 17, 1-7. And I see Lardell has checked in. Joy said it's the beer man for me. We know what her answer is. That would be number 4, Heineke. That's hers. And make sure you all are hitting that love button and checking in. No one has any more favorite players on offense? Anyone have any on offense? I see Steve Davidson has checked in. So mine is actually the same as Russ's. It is Terry McLaurin. It is Terry McLaurin. I said, okay. Seawall Secret. Are y'all hit the love button or hit a fire emoji in the chat if you can keep a Seawall secret. Okay? And I see Kevin checking in and saying Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson are his favorites. Seawall secret. In the press box in Indianapolis, I don't know if anyone saw my stories on my personal page, but I'm looking, that it's really high. They're just so super duper high. Those press boxes. When you get to other stadiums, it's like, what in the world? And so saw Taylor throw it, and I literally saw Terry running. We could see where he was running, and I jumped up out of my seat. Now, the way it was in Indianapolis, nobody could see me jumping out of my seat other than my other fellow Commanders media that was there. And I said, he's going to catch it. He's going to catch it. He's going to catch it. And he did. And I just had to we didn't, you can't cheer in the press box, but I definitely had to, the people sitting next to me who shall remain nameless. Sometimes we tell on each other though. They knew, they were like, I said, they do that. We've seen them do that. The difference though there is when you have a defensive back like Gilmore in coverage, and to see Terry fight for that football. I mean, he fought for that football. He wanted that football so bad. And we have some videos that we're going to share, and I'll be very honest with you all. Shout out to Darrell Owens, who is weeks when it comes to the Bowie television stuff. I have been absolutely all over the place and not very focused. So he has some videos, and I'll be honest, I don't know which ones he pulled and which ones I pulled, but we're going to try to share some of those in a minute. But there's been a consistent message that Terry McLaurin has been saying, I want the football. I want the football. And as Commanders media colleague Michael Phillips from the Richmond Times always says, he's not a diva. Terry is not a diva at all. He is so kind, and he is just so, I just really, like I've been saying for a long time, I love to see him have those moments because he's so conservative and kind of, quiet, but in real life, like Terry is a dog. Like he really is. And for him to be able to see him mature and evolve in the way where he's like, I want the football. And then to see him go and get it, I was elated for Terry as just the player and the person, because I was like, it has probably taken him a lot of just years to be able to really come to be that person and understanding who he is and what he loves to do. And it was phenomenal. So to see him make big plays, I want to go back to the Green Bay game because I believe it was shared with everybody. The posse came to practice, and that was going into Commanders Alumni Weekend. The posse came to practice. The posse came and talked to the wide receivers. Does everybody know the posse? Go ahead and drop the posse's name in there. Am I telling on myself and how old I am? Listen, do you know the posse? Posse. The posse, okay? So I'm like, even Coach Rivera shared the posse. They were talking. They were really getting the guys revved up. Green Bay game, if you notice, go back to the coin toss again. Sometimes I'm not sure what they share on the TV version. But at the game, it seemed like it meant so much to Terry to make sure he was in lockstep walking out there right beside Art Monk. He shows so much just overall respect to the posse at all times. And we heard that a lot of what they were saying, the posse, I'm saying, all of them, was truly, they were taking it very seriously. Okay. And I can see a difference. So that was exciting. I know I spent a whole talking about Terry just now because I haven't been here with you all in a couple weeks, so I was just gonna keep talking because hey, it means something. All right, it means a whole lot. All right. So listen, Terry McLaurin, and let me go ahead and say it because you all know I'm one of those people where I give credit where it is absolutely due. My runner-up on offense, I believe I saw Russ say it, Antonio Gibson. I said, you know what? Listen, sometimes people have to get put on notice. And also, given the opportunities to be put in positions in which they will be most successful. And that is what we have seen in Antonio Gibson. I just beam. I just really beam. I so happy for him because he worked so very hard. And somebody out there is listening, and they absolutely are using him where he is most effective. And I see this question acknowledge about play punt returner. Yes, absolutely. I mean, he would be better than what's currently being used consistently. Okay. So, hey, listen, I love to see it. I love to see it. Moving on, favorite defensive players. Now, I saw somebody already guess mine. I saw someone already guess mine. Favorite defensive players. Favorite defensive players. I'm going to tell you all mine. And then I saw someone already guess one of mine. It was the First String podcast that said Cameron Curl. And you all know that's a buddy. Hey, that's another one that I just smile and I'd be like, yeah, come on. You got this. You can do this. Here's where I was very impressed. Yesterday, it was reported that, and I don't know if you all saw this, that Cameron Curl was going to be the defensive player that wore the green dot. The green dot is the person on defense that calls the plays. That all the information is being relayed to them, and then that's who goes and shares it with the rest of the defense. What a leadership capacity. We know that they were down a linebacker, so we know that because we know that Cameron Curl was going to have a lot on him. And I must say, I have enjoyed watching Cameron grow and do what he has done. I see a guest here about Wild Goose, and that's funny because I'm actually pretty disappointed in him, but he'll get there. He makes some mistakes, but I think he's had to be brought up quickly in the absence of William Jackson III. But I've definitely enjoyed watching Cameron grow. Here's someone else. I want to see other favorites. I'm not seeing many favorites. I think I seen David Mayo. Someone said David Mayo. Jamin Davis. Because here's the thing. This is also another player like Antonio Gibson. When they use him where he's most effective, you see an instant difference. Play to these players' strengths. So on offense, you see when they use Antonio Gibson in space, which is something I have been hollering about and talking about consistently for at least a solid year now, because that's what he did when he was in college. We said the same thing about Jamin Davis. And when they use Jamin Davis in the correct position and with the way that they should, he kills it. Because let me tell you something. It was Jamin and Cameron. I smiled, and one of my colleagues looked over there at me. They were like, "Look at you over there smiling." I said, "I feel like these are my children out here playing." This is amazing. I mean, even though it's frustrating, play calling is frustrating. We're gonna get to improvements in a minute. But it is always so good to just see when they are used effectively. Jamin got a little bit again, Beaver. So we already know, we've seen it before. That's not where he's effective. But guess what? He made up for it down there in the red zone in the very next play or series. And then you saw Cameron Curl come up and automatically stop that touchdown. Listen, that's what you want to see. You want to see the improvements. You want to see improvement. And you also, and when the coaching staff is using these players where they're most effective. That's all you had to say. Hey. That defense, Cameron Curl and absolutely Jamin Davis. Go ahead and give Jamin his flowers. Go ahead and give him. He wasn't being used correctly. Now he is, and you see a complete difference 180. Favorite special teams players. Come on now, drop them in the chat. Favorite special teams players. Now, everybody has to know one. And I see Damon has checked in. I see Steve Davidson has checked in. Everybody has to know one. Tress Way. Tress Way. Don't mess with Tress. Tress is going to listen. He's going to get you in field position now. And he's going to help the team out the best way he knows how. Tress Way and Christian Holmes, number 34. And that has been my big brother. Like, that is who he has had his eyes on for a while now. Christian Holmes. I like Christian a lot. I do. It's very exciting to see. I really enjoy watching all of it, to be quite honest with you all. Just the improvement. Now, watching the game is exhausting. I think that was Melvin Russ McCrae's words. It's exhausting. It's just tiresome. Especially when you talk, because you can't really say too much and all that. No cheering in the press box, can't do any of that. So it's, a lot, but the improvement, that's why I wanted to stick with the positive, because stick with the positive first, not only first. So those were the players that I'm just been really, really excited about here recently. Any positives from a coaching perspective? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is one, and I've already told you all, it's the use of Antonio Gibson and Jamin Davis. There's some other areas where I'm seeing and I'm wanting to know, and them even getting Terry the football. Listen, Terry said, give him the football. Give him the football. I like it. I'm with it. Continue on. Those are the offense, defense, special teams, coaching things that you all want to see more of. Who is not really answering the mail for you? Who is really kind of like, this isn't it. This still isn't it. Still not feeling the warm and fuzzy. You're still not seeing the improvement at all. Now, see this here from Steven Davidson in terms of defensive coordinator. What's interesting is I felt like they've actually gotten better. Now, they're still pretty easy to read at times, but I can for certain say I've seen some improvements. I really enjoyed, and I'm looking into the distance here because I'm thinking about specific plays and specific times where you're seeing effort and finishes it out. And I'm like, it's truly a team effort. Again, we're going to back to in a moment, and then we got to just tell the truth. They're not playing against good offenses. These offenses are not good. And that's been a recurring conversation about this defense, a Jack Del Rio defense coordinator. Defense is that they not that good offenses, and they have the defense in each instance. And I'm glad that these games have turned into W's, because the defense has actually done enough for the team to win. So that has shown itself fact based on the scoreboard, the ending scoreboard. But hey, I think it's not necessarily players. I even want to say, a defensive player that I'm like, he's always been like Kendall Fuller. But I think in the last couple of weeks, Kendall Fuller's been all right. But again, going back to the point of hey, these offenses aren't that scary. You're not dealing with a whole lot defending these folks. Um, offense, offense, offense. The coordination is just going to be an issue for me. You know, and we go back and forth. I say we and some of my media colleagues, and we compare what Ron is saying and what others are saying about who is doing what, and if the players would um listen to what they're saying. And I'm like, but look, listen, this has been the same storyline no matter which quarterback is under center. And I'm going to say and continue to say, do what is strengthening to the player. The New York Giants coach, and I actually have a lot to tonight. We technically only have 5 minutes, but the first thing he said when folks are asking him about how he's experienced, in his just not even full why he's experiencing the success that he is, he immediately says, because he is planning to his players' strengths. That is a very different message than if you do exactly what I tell you to do and then it is wrong, then that means that's my fault. So if you notice, no matter who is under center, this offense struggles, right? At some point, it was like moving. Then all of a sudden, it doesn't move anymore. It moves for like 1 or 2 games, and then it doesn't. I saw a comment on Minnesota today, and we're going to talk about them again on the live on Thursday and via Bowie Television. But one thing about Kirk Cousins, he can score. He can score. Most of these teams can score. Washington has got to be able to put points on the scoreboard, not just in the last minute at the very end or stopping someone else from scoring at the last minute at the very end to not make everybody have a pass out. That's not what we're trying to do here. You want to be able to score consistently throughout the game. Keep pace. Clock management has continued to be an issue with this coaching staff. Offensive play calling, clock management. We're seeing progress in playing to player strengths, but I'd like to see them do that a bit more from the quarterback perspective. This offensive line is not good, and they got a lot of issues. And so this is something that needs to be, and I see this question here, and this is a very easy answer. Defense needs linebacker help. Why front office didn't pick up Roquan today? Because, and I've said this repeatedly, it's because this coaching staff believes they have their linebackers. It's no point. And what they train for? In their mind, in their opinion, and what they see day in and day out, and based on the film, they are fine at the linebacker position. They have not addressed the linebacker position at all. So they wouldn't down. They feel like they're good with David Mayo, with John Bostic as backups to Jamin Davis and to Cole Holcomb. They feel like they're absolutely fine. And then the use of Cameron Curl in the Buffalo nickel, they're good. So they're not going to make a trade like that. They would have to give up too much, and they believe in the team that they have. Hope that answered your question. I feel like I had a lot of other things to share, and I do. I absolutely do. We're going to talk a bit about Minnesota, but let's see the videos that we have. Who knows which videos I picked up? Who knows? Because I don't know myself. I don't even know what I pulled up. So hey, you guys, thank you all for just working with me and being patient with me as I go through this season of change. Let's see. I don't even think we have. Look, you all like laughing at me now. I'm kind of like, I don't even know which videos we have. Let's not go to the videos. We'll save the videos for Thursday. Let's talk a bit about some of the things that I know were in the videos that I wanted to highlight. First things first, Terry McLaurin was very excited about his homecoming, if you will, in Indianapolis. He was very happy. His family, his friends, they were all there. Everybody was just elated. And for him to show up, I mean, he made, you all may have seen the after game presser where he said Marvin Harrison approached him and wanted to take a picture with him. And so it was all very exciting to him. And for him to have the game that he did, it was really just a dream come true. He mentions just how excited he is, how blessed he is, all of those things. Taylor Heineke, check in, love button, fire emoji if you heard his after game presser yesterday. If not, that's totally fine. He definitely talked about this being the best locker room. And you all have heard me say some of this earlier in the season. And that is a lot of the drama, a lot of the mess, a lot of the whatever. That is not what is seen in real life. That's not what it is. I think I made a comment about conversations around the distractions of a Dan Snyder. That's not what it is on site. About how close these guys are, just they have fun together, the relationships they've built. It was very real. And the reason why I know what he's saying is real is because when you're there, you know that that's real. You know that that's real. They're very supportive of each other. They are brothers. They are. I mean, sure, right now, maybe it feels a little good because they on a three game win streak. But even before that, I shared with you all that they feel like it's still a lot of season left. And technically, now that they're on a 3-game win streak, they weren't wrong, right? Season left because now they're at 500. So they really do like each other. They really do love and care about each other. There is no preference. Let me be clear about something. There is no preference of quarterback. There's no preference of receiver. There's no preference of running. There's none of the stuff that we talk about. It's not that. They each believe in each other. 100%. I will forever say this about Ron Rivera. If he was ever trying to build the character of the locker room and how everyone feels, A++, sir. A++. A++. He did that because it's there. They feel it. Taylor talked about it. You have to really go back and watch that after game presser, and it's not lip service. It's really, really real. So that's real. Before I close out, I do want to talk about, I'm kind of laughing a little bit because did anyone see Ron Rivera's after game presser? Ron Rivera and credit to JP Finlay for asking this question. And he was like, Ron, you seem frustrated. Are you frustrated? And he was like, I am. And, last time he got real frustrated was in Chicago when he went off, cussed everybody out and, all of that. I mean, he didn't have to apologize as far as I was concerned, but I'm smiling because it was kind of funny to me. But anyway, for different reasons. But anyway, so Ron be frustrated after these wins because it's great and it feels amazing. But let me tell you, it's nerve-wracking. It's exhausting for everybody. And then it becomes very exhilarating because those last minute wins are just a lot. You want to see a bit more consistency and a bit more preparation out the gate, right? There was some mistakes being made, And luckily, this team was playing a not so good team, and they were able to recover at the last minute. So, Ron's frustration was actually how I was feeling after the game, and that's why I'm kind of smiling a little bit. But hey, it's in the win column. What can you say? Not too much. So look, you all, another week. We have made it through the season. Up next, Minnesota, Kirk Cousins. A lot of people, on the current team and staff does not have the Kirk Cousins relationship. But other than Kirk Cousins, please understand who their head coach is. Another coach, very smart, bright coach that came through Ashburn, and that is Kevin O'Connell, that has already seen a lot of success. Another coach in his first year that's seen a lot of success and movement. Why? Because he is an avid game planner and he is an avid game adjuster. Kevin O'Connell he's good at adjusting mid-game. So I am wanting to see how he is prepared for this, because he will be. He will absolutely be. And it won't be a slow win at the last minute kind of thing. You got to be ready to go toe-to-toe with this offense because he's very offensive minded. So this is not a week that the Commanders offense can be slow to score. It's not that. Not this week. So more to come. You all, thank you so very much for checking in and dialoguing. I hope you found that this commentary was beneficial to you all. Yes, I have been on site for the last couple of games, but as I've shared with you all, because of everything going on in the last couple of weeks, I have not been on site at Ashburn. My ears always to the ground because my colleagues and friends are there, but I am back in action on site throughout the week at Ashburn. And you all know it's basketball season, so I'm splitting my time between the Commanders and the Wizards pretty evenly. So I'm spending my time here with you on the Commander Show while the Wizards are playing. And I'll be continuing to split my time and being all in the know with both teams. So you all, thank you as always for checking in. The Commanders, you all, and I'll be talking to you guys again soon.
You're not on the field, court or ice. You're on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, C. Wall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's C-Wall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. See all that we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.